Recently, I was talking with someone, and I was saying to them that accumulation of at least money doesn't necessarily mean you're rich, because it's what you do with money. It's understanding that money is a tool, and when it's in your hands, you need to use that tool. Like if you have a hammer and there's a nail and you do nothing with the hammer, that nail is going to stay right there. And the hammer,
Right.
because you haven't used the hammer. And that's this in the right way, I should say.
Right.
Same thing with money. We got to know.
Absolutely. And the only way to really create that legacy and create that wealth and that generational wealth is by business ownership, investing in real estate, some of these different things. Not to say you can't do well at a 9 to 5, but unfortunately, you're at the mercy of that corporation or that job. And in the minute that they say, oh, we're laying off or whatever the case may be, what are you going to do? Because so many people live above their means, and they say 80% of families in the US are living paycheck to paycheck. And so if you're not taking steps to secure and to try to create wealth by business ownership, investing in real estate, some of the things that are going to work for you to provide passive income, then you can be in big trouble. And we know that Social Security is failing our seniors. So, we get of age and you're ready to retire. If you don't put some things in place, you're not going to be ready for when the time comes. And we know time flies by. I mean, look at us. We're in October already of this year, and time is flying by. So there's so many different things that, I'd like to share with our community just to make sure that we're in position to be able to do the things that are necessary to, again, create that wealth, close that wealth gap. We know that there's a huge wealth gap in this country, and because of racial biases and some other things, it's really hard for businesses like ours to start, but then to succeed. I want to share some statistics if I can. So there's a statistic that says 82% of small businesses fail due to cash flow, and 47% of startups fail because of lack of financing. Okay, so that's just the overall number. But of the 20% of businesses that fail in the first year, 80% of Black-owned businesses fail within the first 12 to 18 months, and only 4% of Black-owned businesses make it past the startup phase. That's horrible. That's horrible. And why is that? It's because of the overarching issue. There's racial bias in both lending and equity compared to, our white counterparts. Unfortunately, 35% of white business owners are able to get the funding that they need, while only 16% of Black businesses are able to get that same funding. So we need to get into better position. We need to understand what to do. We have these great ideas of starting a business and things like that, but we may not know what the plan will entail to ensure that we have the funding that we need to not only start, but then also to go through each phase as you want to grow and expand and do some of the things, whether you need to, if you want to hire people, whatever the case may be. Sometimes you may want to acquire a business, that kind of complements what you're currently doing. You want to be in position to know that you have the access to capital to be able to do whatever you need so that you can successfully start, grow, and, expand your business.
If you just enjoyed that video, check out the longer version right here.